Milkweed or cattail? What's the best? Well, I got to hearing so much talk about milkweed. I mean, seemed like every social media post had something about milkweed, where to get it and all that. I'd never really had any experience with it. And when I went to Tennessee, I happened to see something white out in the field. I said, I bet that's some milkweed, and went out there and sure enough, had several milkweed pods. And I got some of it, started doing a little testing with it, and was pretty impressed. And I got home and I got thinking, well, we don't have milkweed down in the south. Got thinking what else we might could use, and I knew cattail was really liked, and I knew we had abundance of these cattail corn dogs. So I went and pulled some, and I started doing my own testing, milkweed versus cattail. Well, initially, and this stuff's going to be floating around through the whole video, initially I found that the milkweed was like superior to the cattail. It seemed like when I set it off the first time, the milkweed kind of floated out, maybe a little bit up and then down. The cattail kind of drifted down. I got thinking I just pulled a cattail that day, and it was in a real moist environment. I said, well, maybe the humidity is, you know, it's just the extra weight of the humidity is making the cattail go down. So I decided to give it some more tries and let the cattail dry out real good in the cab of my truck on some hot days that we had early in bow season. And sure enough, over time, the cattail got to floating just as good as the milkweed, maybe even a little bit better. And I started looking, I was testing these over and over, just every time I went out and hunted. I let a little milkweed go, let a little cattail go, just to see what I like best, and the pros and cons of each. Now, one of the pros of the milkweed is it is whiter color. The cattail is more of a tan color. So the visibility of the milkweed was greater. You could see it further distances, and it really showed up better on the real dark, dreary days. The milkweed, the cons of the milkweed is I hunt mostly thick areas, not just big open timber. A lot of times it's really thick around me. The milkweed seemed to go a few feet and hang up in the limbs and whatnot. It wouldn't just, you know, keep floating. It wouldn't go very far before it hung up on something. And the cattail's so much smaller that they would make their way through the limbs and stuff, and didn't seem to hang up as bad. Yeah, and to combat the visibility problem with the cattail, you could actually turn loose a big clump of it, and it really showed up well there. So in hindsight, as far as what I found out as far as which is best, I didn't really see a whole lot of difference. I mean, it's for the amount that you heard about milkweed and you never heard anything about cattail, I was expecting it to be a dramatic difference, and it wasn't. They're just basically the same.